Greetings, this is Skylar Saunders saying, what's current? 50, aka Ferrari F50, doesn't want to be called him, his, or he anymore. He wants to be called thing or it. Now, we all know 50. If you're in the hip hop genre for the past 20 plus years, you know what 50 is about. 50 is about, being jocular, being humorous, not taking everything so seriously, except for his beef with Ja Rule, which is serious beef off of ridiculous circumstances. But it doesn't look like they'll ever have any conciliation or reconciliation, over their differences. But overall, 50 Cent is kind of like a fun guy. He likes to have enjoyment, and one big thing that happened was his single uh, um, in the club reached the 10 million mark, or 10 million units sold, which would be a diamond. And he said, he's just happy about it, but he's on tour right now in Europe at the moment, and he's still playing around. He's the other person in hip hop who has taken seriously the pronouns is Lil Uzi Vert. He wants to be they want to be called they, them, that kind of way. They're very focused on being sincere, being real. But 50, I think, is just playing. I think he's trolling. He's one of the biggest trolls of hip hop history. He definitely likes to play around with different ideas and different things like that. So I think he's trolling. But Lil Uzi Vert is serious. Lil Uzi Vert, they are very serious. I have to be careful with how I pronounce the pronouns. They explain in the article that I have written here. That I did not write. Marisa Mendez wrote. Um, he Lil Uzi Vert, they, studied and took on the role of a scholar, and try to get as much information as they could to understand why pronouns are part of today's modern society right now. So 50 Cent could be playing. Who knows? You can't tell with 50 at all times. He's usually trolling somehow or making fun of somebody. Whether it's 50 Cent. I mean, not 50 Cent. Not whether 50 Cent is talking about Rick Ross or Ja Rule. So many different figures. The Game. So many different hip hop. Pioneers in hip hop. Um, different names that it's hard to, you get lost in the sauce. It's easy to get lost in the sauce with 50 because he's just that enigmatic of a figure. Yeah, he paints a portrait of somebody who's rough and and tough and stuff like that, but also has a kinder, funnier side to him. So you have to take 50 with a boulder of salt, I would say. Not a grain of salt, but a boulder of salt. Because you can never tell with him. He's very successful. Obviously, he has a diamond, you know, number one single that came out. Get this, 20 years ago. Get that, 20 years of In the Club. When he comes down from the ceiling and he's in the exercise room, like I'm sure you remember that if you're as old as dust like I am. So I think 50 Cent, is probably, the one of the better parts of the game. I think he's very good for what he's doing. He's doing his final lap. That's the concert. The tour is called. It's his final lap tour. But he may have a little bit more left in him beyond, this supposed final tour. It seems to me that he has the ability to be even more powerful producer. He acted, for a brief period, even though on one he said, I ain't no actor, but it's me, see, on your TV because I hustle, baby. Okay, so I can't say anymore because I'll get a copyright strike. But it's just fun. That's what this whole game is supposed to be. That's what it was supposed to be at the beginning. Peace, love, unity, having fun. That's what it was all about. That's what the whole idea was. To have a good time. And I think 50 Cent has been enjoying himself for the past over 20 years. Pause. But he's been able to, have as many women as he wanted, have as many hits as he wanted, have as many, homes. I'm sure the house that he had from Tyson burned down, but I think he's living pretty comfortably now in some estate somewhere. But I don't think it's a problem for him. It's not really an issue. He has on his radar screen, bigger ambitions, and that's part of the hustler's ambition, if you will. He has that same drive, that same business mind, that drove people like Eazy-E and Jay-Z, people like that. They're bosses. They're bosses in their own right, or Eazy-E was a boss. He's since passed, but Jay-Z is a boss in his own right, definitely, without question. 50 is a boss without question. And if he wants to call himself, it thing, he say, that thing 50 Cent is the shit. Like, I think that's what he said. So he's just, he's playing around. He's having a good time. He's not really taking anything too seriously. And I think that's, healthy for the game, not the rapper, the game, for the hip hop game. That's healthy for, people that are coming up, especially, within the different circles. You have these serious cases, you have the RICO cases, you have the double murder cases, you have all these different, really serious and pressing issues going on in hip hop right now. And it's just welcome to have a little bit of levity, introduced into the game. Have just a little bit of, humor and a little bit of lightness pervade the culture, the genre. It's not a culture, it's a genre. But let me adjust my hat a little bit here. There we go. All right. So that's the gist of it. If you ask me, 50's been on a tear for the past over 2 decades. He's been pretty consistent as well. He has, he doesn't pop out with the biggest sales for albums or anything, but he has a few singles over the years. He was with the Bay Area cats, Bay Area. So he knows how to do. He can switch up his flow. He can switch up his whole demeanor. He has some of my favorite songs. Technology, with Justin Timberlake. 21 Questions, of course, obviously, from earlier days. He just has a slew of songs. A song with Tony Yayo. And it's amazing how Tony Yayo has been his ace boon coon for this long. He's been able to ride with him, as someone that really understands his position to hold down a boss. We talked about that before, and that's what empowers 50. If he is able to to understand that there's somebody that's going to have his back at all times and be his guard, and that's something that empowers him and keeps him focused on whatever task he must do. Everything's set before him. That's important, I think. So with all that is going on, and like I said, with hip hop, and it seems like it's very dour and serious and very mired down in criminality. 50 Cent rose above all that. And I can't think of too many reports where he has been busted for weed or guns or anything like that. I can't think of any in the recent history. He has a record, prior to being on the mic. He definitely was in jail for a little while. But no, I can't think of any other his. I could be blatantly and obviously wrong. You can correct me. Please correct me in the comment section. Call my dumb ass out. But I can't think of anything that he's been tied to with in regards to criminality. So if he has anything to do with being a troll, he's definitely at the head. And in the article that I posted that goes along with this video by Miss Mendez, it shows that how Lil Uzi Vert is serious. He's not kidding around. He's not playing. See, there I go. They are not playing around. They are serious. It's something you have to be careful about. That's all I can say. And I'm trying to respect them. I'm trying to clown them or anything goofy like that. Them. See, you see, your brain functions differently when you're talking. When you're writing, it's totally different. But when you're talking, even sometimes when you're writing, you mess up. So Lil Uzi Vert, are serious. They have a commitment to the pronouns that they have in their mind, in their life. They are committed to being someone who is an individual in that way, in that proper sense, whoever they may be. And that's what 50 Cent says. I want to be it or thing. Like that thing 50 Cent is the shit. Like, is he just kidding? Is he trolling? Is he serious? Is he playing? Are there legal documents that you have to sign that that let people know if you're changing your pronouns? I don't know. I have no idea. Let me check that out real quick. Fine. There's a question. Can I refuse to use gender pronouns? Can my employer force me to put my pronouns in my email signature? Can I be forced to list my pronouns? Do you have to put pronouns in email signature? There's all kinds of different things. Understanding pronoun usage in the legal field and beyond. Huh. So, doesn't look like it, but this is interesting. But 50 Cent, he's the truth. Height is in the building. I appreciate Height. He came through with a 20 piece yesterday. He usually does 10 pieces, but he knows it's the fourth quarter. He wanted to be part of the 50 club. He's number 2 on the list for the 50 club. Of course, Chelsea with her glasses on was number 1. She dropped $75 on my head. Okay, Height, but Height is definitely in the building. Salute. Oh, friend. Oh. So it's all 50. It's 50s. It's like it is serious. It is serious. It is. Height saying serious. It made in the club all the time, all time jam by it. Yeah. Salute to Keith. Yeah, I got my 3 likes and I got 3 people in here, so I'm feeling good. I'm feeling toasty. It's feeling good. This person, he actually didn't even say he wanted to be a person. He doesn't want to be a person anymore. He just wants to be it and thing. He doesn't want to be considered a person at all. He just wants to be it or thing. I don't identify as a person anymore. That's what 50 Cent proposes, but has announced. He's changing pronouns. He's not a person. He's kind of like, I guess, Lil Wayne. I am not a human being. So maybe there's something else, He's dropping tomorrow. He's got an album dropping tomorrow, or playlist, or collected songs, whatever you want to call it. But yeah. So if he is not playing, then that would be, a shift, I think, in the gangster rap column, because Lil Uzi Vert isn't really a gangster rapper. He doesn't really talk about, drug dealing and gang banging and stuff like that. I think he's in a gang. I think he's part of the Bloods, but I'm not sure. You can correct me if I'm wrong. But Lil Uzi Vert, they are, let me correct myself, they are, very sincere in their decision making to be, called by they, them, there. And you have to respect it. You have to respect that. That's part of, the world we're living in right now. I have to respect that. 50 Cent though, 50. Boy, if you go back to my history, if you back in the day, boy, when I was younger, and I was like, what was this? This is like 2008, 2009. Do you remember when he was going at Rick Ross, Officer Ricky? Remember that when he had the curly hair and he had the cop outfit on? He was going at Rick Ross. I mean, that's just the playfulness of 50 Cent. That's just how he gets down. He's a very serious businessman. Don't get it twisted. Don't think he's somebody need to push over, just like a punk or something like that. But he's very aware of his humor side, or it's very, very. I might have to start saying it's a very aware of the things humor side. That's how goofy this thing is going to be. This is going to be goofy if he's telling the truth. If he's not trolling, and you'll never know with 50 Cent can be very mercurial. He can be one way one day and then complete opposite the other day. He's definitely a figure that is, and forever will be, someone that is tied with enemies and friends. He has a lot of friends, but he also has a lot of enemies. And he made enemies with various people, and other people that jumped in, like Eminem. They had issues with Ja Rule, and I think Eminem had issues with Benzino, and different things like that. And 50 Cent was just like, forget that. We're gonna do that. We're gonna get this money. I'm about to get a show on. I'm about to get I'm gonna get this real paper. I'm gonna get this real bread. So if he wants to be called, if it wants to be called a thing and not a person at all, there's some people that identify themselves as raccoons, like I do. Like I say, women are trash, but I'm a raccoon, so I love trash. I got that. I stole that. I stole that from Officially Ice on X, which is weird to say, but it's the site formerly known as Twitter, X.com. Yeah, I got that from Officially Ice. Arsenal the Rebel, the battle rapper's brother. Not to say that I have to say that every time, but I just give you a frame of reference. If you're in the battle rap field, there's a lot of I want 4 likes. I got 4 people in here. Give me that 4th like. Whoever else is in here, I see 4 people in the viewership. I need 4 likes. I need a 20 piece. Somebody hit me with a 20. Somebody hit me with a 20. I need that. I'm feeding for it. I need that 10, man. I need at least a 10 or 20. But 50 is definitely, he's doing the damn thing. He's got the tour going on. He's going all over the place in Europe. I'm sure he's, smashing through all kinds of white bitches. Just rolling right through them. All in Europe and Sweden and Norway and Denmark and all the Nordic chicks. He's probably, going through, different places in Eurasia. But no, 50, definitely has a mind. He has one of the best business minds, one of the best artistic minds ever to come out of the womb of hip hop. And that's no cap. I mean that sincerely. I'm saying he and he because he and him because I'm not sure if he's trolling or not. If he's serious, like Lil Uzi Vert, they are serious. I got caught myself that time. They are serious in their deportment and their behavior. I respect them. Ah, I got another one. See, I'm trying. I'm not trying to do this, to punk anybody or play anybody. So 50 is on a path. He's on a different path. If he is in fact retiring from rapping, I'm sure he'll be doing TV shows. He'll probably be writing books, more 50 Laws of Power, stuff like that. Um, from Pieces to Weight, he's gonna be doing more books like that. Have more deals. He's gonna be. I'm sure he's gonna be behind the scenes some more on his shows, being a producer and things of that nature. Book of Kane and BMF and all those Power, Ghost, all that good stuff. He's got his hand in a lot of things, so it's possible. It's quite possible that he will be able to keep going within this realm of hip hop. See what he can do. See what his abilities are. If he's able to continue on with whatever he wants to do with his life, that's his business. It reminds me of Quentin Tarantino. Quentin Tarantino he has acted before. He's acted in Pulp Fiction and other movies and things like that, but he's mainly a director and a writer. And he said, that he's pretty much going to be stopped making films pretty soon. And that caught the attention of Martin Scorsese because he's like in his 80s and he's still, going. He's got the Killer of the Flower Moon movie coming out already out. And Tarantino doesn't want that. Tarantino wants to have time to write novels. He wants to quit with all the movies and films and just write novels. And that's what I see for 50. 50 Cent's probably going to be like that. If this is, in fact, his final tour, his swan song, his last go around, then this is, a pivotal moment for him. There's a time for him to reflect on all his accomplishments that he has garnered throughout his career. And he has amassed a great amount of money, as well as, different things. Let me make sure how many Grammys does 50 Cent have. He might be Grammyless. I'm not sure. Grammys. 50 Cent. He has one Grammy. He's been nominated 14 times and won only once. So he's still a Grammy Award winner. Still a Grammy Award winner no matter what. Can't take that from him. As they say, you can't take it from me. That's something that they can't take from me. I love when people say stuff like that. It's like, who wants to take it from you? I don't understand who's trying to take your title. Got 4 likes. Thank you. 3 people in here viewing. 4 likes. Thank you. I appreciate that. Sincerely. If I'm not going to get the money, I'm going to get views and likes. But no, 50 definitely has a way to his public, just humor. Just, it's not that serious. Don't take it so seriously. Don't take it so seriously. It's not that serious. It's about having fun. Peace, love, unity, having fun. And that's not very proper, in a sense, to have a music culture. Should be like reason, individualism, and capitalism, to borrow from Ayn Rand. But if those principles were, instituted in hip hop, it would be a complete makeover. It would be a completely different way. Capers on the check-in. Salute to Capers. Salute to Capers. He's not even on in the line, but he sent me $5, so I'll give him his due diligence. Let me see, or his due recognition, I should say. So we got $5 raised, $155 left to go. Let's get it. Wow. $5 raised, $155 to go. We can do this. All it takes is $155. That's it. It's nothing. Just everybody just chip in a little bit. There's no GOAT. And I'm not going to answer you, Keith. If you put money on your questions, and this is during the time period where, until the hour mark comes, I'd only take questions that are dollars. If you remember your question after that, I'll answer it. But I'm not going to go back and say, whatever your question was, and you don't put any money on it. Okay? Got you? Got me? All right. 50, aka Ferrari F50. Break it down. So he definitely put on display his prowess on the mic. Aggressive, he was very gangster driven. His songs are about squeezing the steel, dumping the steel and squeezing heat, stuff like that. His music was very about that when it first came out. When it first came out, and then of course throughout his career, but mainly he made songs for the ladies to like. They already liked his physique. He's a bulked up guy. He's got the muscles. He's got stuff like that. The ladies were liking him from that point, and I guess the guys do too. Honey. So, if they had some kind of way of understanding what yeah, there we go. They had some way of understanding who 50 Cent really is. That thing, that it who it wants to be. And it just seems like it's part of the growth. It's part of the power of 50 Cent, no pun intended. He is really matured, I think. I think he's matured as an artist, as a human being, from what I can understand, from my standpoint, from my vantage point. He was able to come into the game. He came into the game really early, and he had a great song. I think it was I can't remember what it's called. It's like Jacking for something, huh? Let me make sure. Put this in. How to Rob. How to Rob was all about robbing R&B and R&B singers and rappers. It was just a clever, little song, little ditty. He was going after. It caught the idea, caught wind of by Jay-Z. And he said, "I'm about $1. What the F is 50 Cent?" So that was like, whoa. This is the big time. This is the real big GOAT. This is Jay-Z. This is early in his career, and he was considered one of the best rappers already, Jay-Z. And he's going at, he's talking about 50 Cent. Nobody even heard of him before until, How to Rob. And then he met up with Dre and Eminem, and the rest is history, as that cliche goes. He made it a business out of himself. He made himself a household name. He was on the freaking Simpsons. God damn it. How many rappers can claim that they've been on the Simpsons? That's amazing. Like, just cool stuff like that. I think is a part of his repertoire, part of his characteristics. So I need more money. $5 is cool, but hey, we need more money. Tell you point blank range. $155. I need that to go down. I need the raise part to go up. Simple as that. All right. Because when I talk about that money, then somebody says, "Oh shoot, we gotta give him some cash. Let's give him a PayPal. Let's give him some Cash App." He's trying to make a studio for himself. He's trying to make a better living for himself. I'm talking about me. And I'm not saying themself or their self either. I'm saying himself. I'm a confident heterosexual man, and I am very, I can remain on that square. I don't have to switch up. I don't know if Lil Uzi Vert is gay or not. I don't know if he's non-binary. I don't know if he's bisexual. I don't know. But he just switched up with the pronouns. And that's what we're going to talk about now for this other half of the show. The question is, how important are pronouns in modern society? How important is it for us to get it right? The funky headhunter. Oh my God. Hold on. I gotta look up who this person is. I don't know who the funky head. Funky. Okay, we can talk. We can talk. I know it's FU. I know. We can talk, Keith. But give me this half an hour. We're going to talk about pronouns and people in society. Now, the first time I noticed it on TV, and the first time I think they ever to happen on TV with the pronouns was on the show Billions with the character Taylor, and their real life name is Asia Kate Dillon. They are 38 now, and they played the character Taylor Mason, who is ruthless, very driven young person. And I think it was the first time ever for a show to have pronouns like that. Taylor Mason, they identify, God, here we go, as non-binary. From a article introduces a compelling study of gender performance to a show about finance and the law with an entrance. Hello, my name is Taylor. My pronouns are they, theirs, and them. So this goes on to, I think, the action. Let me see if let's see. Yeah. So they're binary in the role that they first were. And on the show, they were non-binary in their real life, but in shows, let me see what they were in 47 episodes of Billions, so they're not a lightweight. They made a role. They made a role for themselves. They made a play for themselves to be a serious actor, and that's what they want to be called, an actor, as a non-binary person. So, what is the importance of pronouns? What is the true importance of having a pronoun? He, she, them, they, their, her, him, he. It's always been a thing for me to say, like, okay, that's not a guy, that's not a girl, that's a sherm. That's what it is. That's what I thought it was. A sherm, shim, him. That's what I thought it was for a while. But that's all offensive. Those are all derogatory terms to pronounce somebody as. So I'm just asking you, what is the main gist of it in today's world and modern society? What about pronouns? What is it about pronouns that gives people power, gives people a different sense of themselves? Just like Lil Uzi Vert, and we'll see what happens with 50 Cent. But pronouns. I mean, like I said, I identify with he, him, his. That's mine. He, him, and his. But some people don't want to be pronounced as he, him, and his. They want to pronounce as, maybe they're male, but want to be called she, her, and hers. Could be possible. I'm not sure. It all breaks down to whoever wants to be, whoever the hell they want to be. And I got to respect that. Because that's true. That's being true to you. If you want to be gay, if you want to be queer, if you want to be lesbian, if you want to be transgender, if you want to be all these things, that's your business. I should have nothing to do with that business. If we can make money together, if we can, go on tour together, go on, get this guala, I don't have a problem. If we can be intellectual about certain issues and talk about different things, how's that interrupting anything? How's that, spoiling anything? Just because you have different pronouns. And I'm, a straight man who has no problems with non-binary or anybody else. That's your business. And we should be able to do business without having, any hangups. So, people like Asia Kate Dillon, whom I think was a woman or a female when they were born, but that's not important apparently anymore. It's all about what they are now and what they identify with now. Actually, she's 39 years old. Excuse me, I said she was 38. They are 39 years old. I knew I was gonna slip up. Y'all catch me, because I'm gonna slip up a lot. I'm not even tipsy. I'm just stupid. But they make it plain to everyone that they are, changed, that they're not the same person. When you become non-binary, you're showing yourself that you are a completely different person. Maybe you evolved. Maybe you've changed your way of being by way of saying what different being you want to be. That's all I can say. I don't want to say anything derogatory against anybody, because that's just cheap and corny and stupid. If I was to sit here and just like, oh well, she's really a she. It's really an actress. Who would that benefit? Who would that profit? Who would profit from that? Who would profit from any of that? I don't understand who would be able to even reconcile with their own lives. They must be haters in their own mind, and subjective haters. They can't deal with somebody else's decision and their ability to say that they want to be called by different pronouns, like transgender. Some people are saying like, oh well, he's really a he. He was born a he. So I'm going to call him him, his and her, and him and he. But no, he's a she now. Her, hers. I appreciate that, Keith. You're saying it's very interesting. I appreciate it. Tell some friends. Tell some more people about this show. That'll make it even more interesting. If you can't give up the dollars, at least give up enough room, space for people to see the show. Tell more people. Tell more people about the show. Tell your peoples about me. But it's a psychological thing, I think. It's really psychological, more than physical or biological. It's psychological. Really a thing with your mind. And I'm not saying that to denigrate anybody. I'm not saying, oh, it's just in your head. No, I'm saying it's part of your head. It's part of your brain, part of your mindset, to be able to say who you are and what you're about. To have that same kind of thinking process in line with what you want to be and who you want to be and why you want to be. That I think is crucial. I think that's a basic pillar of society, an American society especially. to be an individual. A lot of people say, you have to be an individual if you have a ring through your nose, blue hair, spiked, and eyeliner, and wear combat boots, and white and black, and spiked wrist bracelets and stuff like that. And that's not an individual. You're not an individualist, I should say. You may be an individual, but you're not an individualist. You're an individualist if you come by way of your brain, your mindset, your mind, your thoughts. That's how you become an individualist. By thinking, by using your brain, by making sure that you have an understanding of what you are and the role you play in life. And that's very important. And it starts probably in your 30s and 40s in some cases, maybe earlier, but for the most part, it probably doesn't happen until you're in your 20s, maybe sometimes in your teens. And it could be a hard lesson to be learned. And then you're happy because we're in a totally different situation. Nope. You can ask as many questions as you want, Keith, but you don't have a dollar next to it. You have to wait. You got about 19 minutes left, and then you can ask your question. All right. So yeah, so if you have, all this, what the general culture is, what we've accepted same-sex marriage, we've accepted gays and lesbians in the military, same sex, homosexuals in the military. I know they don't like to say homosexual, but I'm just being specific. So like I said, gays and lesbians, and I think transgender. I'm pretty sure it's also non-binary. I don't know what they want to be called. Do they want to be called Sam and Mur instead of Sir and Ma'am? Hey, I'm not even trying to joke. I'm just trying to be serious. I don't know. What do you want to be called? If you're a non-binary in the military, what is your title? What is your if you're an officer? What are you supposed to be called? I don't know. I don't know how they do that. I don't even know how. I looked it up one time. I still didn't get the right one. But it's very interesting. It's a very interesting thing because we're constantly evolving. I mean, just imagine 20 years ago. I think it was Massachusetts was the first state to recognize same-sex marriage. 20 years ago. And then you fast forward and we have everything available, transgender, all of that. And just imagine 200 years ago, if you were found to be transgender or homosexual or in certain circumstances, 2,000 years ago, you probably had a better chance. 3,000 years ago, you had a better chance in the Greek society for being homosexual. But no, in American society, it's totally different. All right, I'll answer questions with dollars, but I can read comments. Keith says the American white man tell Black Americans that it's okay to steal anything you want to as long as the value of what you steal is under $1,000. I don't know what we're not even talking about that. I don't even know what you're talking about, sir. No idea what you're talking about. That's fine. So just like 30, 40 years ago, being gay, being lesbian, it was like, hey, it's the 90s. Like, it was just breaking into the culture. It was just breaking into the scene. You didn't have too many people that were out. You knew they were. There was like, let me see. Let me look it up. Paul Lynde. Paul Lynde was obviously gay. Like, there's no question. Like, he was a gay man. But he had to hide it because overall, Hollywood at that time was not very, welcoming towards homosexuals. That's the funny thing about Hollywood, our parents, everything like that. They claim that they were supportive of you, for your decisions or your identity. But then they turn on you like, oh well, we were so welcoming now. We're so everything is great, and that's cool. But don't forget how you were before. Like, let's not kid ourselves. But Paul Lynde, yeah, he was definitely gay. Rock Hudson, another gay actor, couldn't. He was during the '80s. He contracted HIV/AIDS. He died sadly. Paul Lynde has died since as well, but I don't know if it was from AIDS or anything like that. But it's a real shame. It's really sad. It's really sad because the thousands, the millions of people, gay, straight, non-binary, transgender, queer, plus, IA, whatever you want to be, you couldn't be in certain circumstances. In London, they had laws against people being gay, and all over the people during this time right now. Look at Hamas. Look at Palestine. They're saying queers for Palestine. As ridiculous and sick and disgusting and disturbing as that is, Hamas is about throwing people off of buildings who are gay. And they're saying queers for Hamas in Palestine? Are you kidding me? That's disturbing. They don't care about you. That's the sickest thing. It's almost like the Stockholm syndrome. No, Palestine has to be cared for. They're the underdog. They're in such turmoil. Oh, all that bullshit. When in reality, the facts show that there is a serious, disconnect between being in the queer community, and I'll just say the queer community, and that comprises everybody: homosexual, binary, non-binary, everything like that. If you're in the queer community or the queer culture, it could be a culture by now. I'm not even sure. They're not for you. They're against you. So you're patting them and you're coddling them and saying that they're supposed to be righteous, and Israel is definitely the devil and evil and vicious and are barbarians and all kinds of malicious things to say. When Hamas and Palestine are talking about covering up women, that's lighter, of course, than throwing them off a window or off a building or something like that. But jailing women because they don't wear their hijab, it's disgusting. It's appalling. But we go through it. We still do it. Well, not we, but people still do it. People are still for Hamas and Palestine, even though they are so prehistoric in their value system. Neanderthal, and it's pronounced Neanderthal, are more advanced in a lot of ways than Hamas and Palestine. Because what do they want? What do they want? They want to create a dictatorship among dictatorships. That's all they want. That's what they want for land. Nobody has a right to make a dictatorship. That's a fact. You don't have a right to make a vicious totalitarian state just because you feel like it. Just because you think on you feel like on some religious text or something like that, or it's based on heritage or something like that. It's not what it's about. So I'm championing the queer, community. I'm championing them because of the history, and it continues to this day. Try to be queer in Iraq. Try to be queer in Iran. Try to be queer in all these different places. I'm trying to remember the place. There's a I heard it on the radio, but there's a place that is, I think, in the Western world, not even not outside of Hamas in Palestine, in the Western world. It might have been Israel, but I'm not 100% sure. I have to look it up. But they were saying how if they have their parents living, they have to get their parents' consent to change their non-binary status or change to a non-binary status. They have to get their permission from their parents. And that's just ridiculous. If you're an adult, especially, that's what I think it should be. I could be wrong. There could be a non-binary 14-year-old. I'm gonna say wait till you're 18. That's when you're a minor. That's when you need it. But if you're in your 30s or 40s and you have to ask your parents for permission to change who you are, that's not right. That doesn't sit well with me. I think that's one of some of the weirdest things. We're all an experiment. Humanity is just one giant experiment. We'll say, oh, you can drink these things and that's fine. No, you can't. Now you can't. You can't drink these things. Oh, you want to smoke, snort, inject, all these things? Okay, we're not going to say it's illegal, but okay, now it's illegal. Now it's very illegal. Now you can go to jail for it. Now you can go to prison for it. Now they're trying to enact different bills to have you have capital punishment put on your head. That's how nasty this is. That's how disgusting this all is. The experiment. It's a weird, nasty experiment. Wars, all kinds of terrorist attacks, murders, killings, and we're just in a big experiment, trying to see who we are, what we're made of, and we're just wondering. That's what that's one of my favorite sci-fi movies of all time. The Fifth Element. I hope I'm not giving too much away, but she gets to a point where she looks at all the history of mankind and all the wars and different terrible histories and periods of exploitation and everything like that. And she just is like, I can't believe this is really humanity. Like it just is appalling. But for the people in the queer community, that's all I'm going to say, queer, because that encompasses everybody. I think I'm not trying to marginalize. It's just better than saying gay, straight, lesbian, non-binary, transgender. It's like I just say queer. Just let me say queer. I'm not trying to disrespect. Just saying queer. As I'm gonna read from Wikipedia. Queer is an umbrella term for people who are not heterosexual or not cisgender. Originally meaning strange or peculiar, queer came to be used pejoratively against those with same-sex desires or relationships in the late 19th century. Beginning in the late 1980s, queer activists such as the members of Queer Nation began to reclaim the word as a deliberately provocative and politically radical alternative to the more similar branches of the LGBT community. Okay, so I forgot. That's my fault. LGBTQ plus queer. So LGBTQ plus. I'll say that. Let everybody know who I'm talking about. So I hope that is brings clarity, because I still I don't struggle with my identity. I'm secure, but I struggle with people that are non-binary. I just have so many questions, like I had with the military. What do you want to be called if you're a non-binary officer? I mean, this isn't trivial. This is serious. That's a sign of respect. It's a sign of honor. It's a sign of recognition. Are you a sir or are you a ma'am? And what do you want to be prefer? What do you prefer to be called? How do you want to be addressed? I'm serious. I'm not trying to be jokester about this. I'm serious about it. I really would like to know. Who talks about this? What movies are there? Keith is saying we're here and we're queer. Uh-oh. Uh-huh, honey. I see you, Keith. And work and twist and twist and turn. Looks like we need to open up the library on you, Keith. We need to start reading you. We are going to be reading you who you are. I got those emojis because I'm laughing. So I understand what he's saying now. But no, I have fun. I think you're supposed to have fun when you're, especially if you know who can throw a party. Is some LGBTQ people. They took the word gay. They reclaimed the word queer. They took the rainbow, for God's sakes. They're the gangsters of the world. Nobody can F with them. You can't F with them. You say something wrong about a transgender person, you may have hands put on you, feet put on you. That's just a fact of reality. That's the basis of truth. Something bad may happen to you. Keith says, "Ooh, no." Okay, honey. Uh-huh, honey. But yeah, so that's what it's like. I had 5 people. No, I got 4 likes. Give me 5 people again so I can get 5 likes. All I need is 5 likes. 5 likes. Yeah, so it's it's a long road. We're still experimenting. Drugs aren't illegal. Did I say that right? Yeah, drugs aren't legal. Excuse me. All drugs aren't legal. Prostitution isn't legal. Stem cell research has been condemned. All these things based mainly on mysticism, collectivism, and altruism. Because if you have collectivism, you're going to be altruistic. And if you have altruism, you may be, an atheist, but you're still going to be worshiping an ideal, just like a mystic. You're going to be worshiping the idea of the other people, ahead of yourself, and to denigrate yourself, to deny yourself. That's the facts. And that's what we're dealing with right now. We're at a point in history where we're not sure where we're going yet. And that's concerning. Keith says stealing is legal. No, it's not. I don't know what you're talking about, but it's illegal to steal. If you expound upon that, maybe I can understand what you're saying when you say stealing is legal. But yeah, so LGBTQ plus, binary, all those different systems and characteristics, I'm in full support of. That's the cliche, live your truth. I'm living my truth. I love sexy ass white bitches. Can't get enough of them. I love my black women too, and my red women and yellow women and brown women. They held me down. All of them have held me down before. It's just something about that pink toe. No. But seriously, I do, uphold the ideas of the LGBTQ community and the fact, and I respect their gangster. They're the new gangsters. They are the new gangsters, and I mean that in a positive way, not in like a discriminatory way. I mean that they have the power. They have power now, and like I said, I'm joking, but I'm serious at the same time about why the abortion act was rescinded, and there's no more Roe v. Wade federally, and the same sex situation was put into place 8 years ago. Now I think it is now. It's because the LGBTQ community has their own set of slurs. Their slur for straight people is breeders, so they don't want abortion rights. They don't care about abortion rights. They could give a damn about abortion rights. They don't want people to have abortions. They want more kids. So let me end right there on that. Pronouns, good, be yourself, be true. When you're 18, especially. You can have it while you're 14, but definitely when you're 18, without question. Maybe 17, but definitely on that level. Okay, now I'm gonna open up for questions, and I'm gonna run my mouth until the percentage closes. Keith, I remembered your question. I'm gonna say it right now. You're out of your mind. If you think no, now I'm saying this. MC Hammer's the truth. MC Hammer was the real deal, and he still is. He's still getting money, I'm sure, off of stuff he made 30 years ago. I'm sure he's still making money somehow, some way. But I never heard of Funky Headhunter until you brought it up. 50. I've listened to all of Get Rich or Die Trying. It's a masterpiece. It's his masterpiece. One of the greatest hip hop albums of all time. One of the best production. Some of the best production in ever recorded. What else did you say? Sky, spirituality and morals are needed and are normal for any society on earth. Yeah, I understand that, but what are the parameters? What would you call moral? What would you call normal? You have to specify. I don't even know if Keith is still here. I could just be talking to three people and they don't even know what the hell I'm talking about. Okay. Listen to that stove. Yes, I listened to thank you, Height. Sincerely, I listened to Fire. I love coke rap. That's my favorite kind of hip hop. I love coke rap. Coke rap is my favorite. Clips, Jay, Biggie, Jadakiss, truth. It's real. Yeah, it's real. I love coke rap. And Stove God Cooks, he's singing some parts of it. I always wanted to say that. Somebody, before the rapper started singing, especially, in the last maybe 10 years, man, I was waiting for somebody to start singing about coke. I just want somebody to sing a song about coke. I want an R&B singer like, her or SZA to be singing about cocaine. That would be dope. That no pun intended, but that would be the truth. Yeah, I listened to the one. I can't remember the title of the song, but I listened to the one with Jadakiss. Jadakiss had fire bars once again. Fire bars once again with Stove God Cooks. Yeah, Stove God Cooks is the truth. His name's it could use work. I don't really like Stove God Cooks. Like it's too many things right now. Should be like Stove God, or maybe somebody already had Stove God and he had to put in Cooks. I don't know. Fat Boy versus Shaq or Mr. T in what? Rapping? Have you heard Shaq on Meek Mill and Rick Ross? Did you? Okay, hello. But yeah, have you heard Shaq on? He kind of smokes them both. He kind of washes them. Shaq, I think Shaq had bars. He had bars for 30 years. He was one of the first. I think he was either the first or one of the first basketball players to go platinum on a hip hop level. So you got to give Shaq his bars. Shaq has bars. Yes, I agree with that, Keith. Yeah. Oh, it's called Right Now. Okay, got you. Salute. But nobody beats the human beatbox. I mean, who can? Are there other challenges? Are there like battles with beatboxers? The only beatbox that I know is so prominent is Fresh. What's his name? God damn. Somebody say it before I say it. Dougie Fresh. Dougie Fresh. Not Dougie Fresh. Okay. Tell me, Keith, please keep me informed. Let me know. So let me know who's the. It's not Dougie Fresh. Then who is it, Keith? Let me know. I got a show to do. Come on, pop. Keep it moving and popping and shaking. Let's go. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Let's roll. Yeah. So if you have people in your family, everybody got somebody in here. Rozelle. I never heard of Rozelle. Did he beatbox challenge against? Oh, Jackson. You got $5 raised. $155. From the Roots. Okay, Rozelle from the Roots. I don't think I've ever heard him beatbox. I could be wrong. I don't think I heard him on any of their albums either. I missed a few of their albums. I know Things Fall Apart. My favorite Roots album of all time is The Tipping Point. That is my jam forever and ever. There's some skips, there's a few skips, but the ones that stick, that are the truth, they roll, and I can listen to them, at any time, and it's heartening. It's great. So we got about 23% left. So I gotta get out of here. So, I have a gay stepbrother, and I have no problems with that. He has a great husband, and I say that too. My dad's like, with the husband thing, but their husband and husband. I don't know what else to say. What do you say? And that's what I was wondering about. They do this with TV. They're saying my dad's. When it's like people that are adopted and talking about their adoptive parents, they say my dad's like that. And they say dad, and I guess they say sometimes they call my other first name, sometimes they don't. But they don't have to worry. They have a dog. They have a dog named Liza. So that's their business. If they want to be gay, they want to be gay. Let them do what they want to do. That's part of being in reality. Part of being the truth. So it's like it's weird. It's a strange thing. Like I was saying before. Number one chicken and beer, the Roots. TBE, the TBE Roots. I think you meant the Roots. But number one chicken and beer, the Roots. I have no idea what you're talking about, Keith. I know chicken and beer is ludicrous, but what does that have to do with the Roots? Anybody waiting for that? What I was talking about yesterday? I usually don't do this. I usually don't bring what I had yesterday, but it's coming out tomorrow. I might talk about it tomorrow. Andre 3K, whole flute album, just AT Alien, weird, out there, brilliant, but totally unexpected. But it's coming our way. I'll be listening to it in the morning. And Lil Wayne's dropping. Lil Wayne is dropping. You can't forget about him. Oh my God. This is crazy. Why don't these stories come up when I'm thinking of story ideas? It's not. You know what? This is what everybody's going to be talking about. This is what everybody's going to be talking about. This is what Height says. Breaking news: Cassie just accused Diddy of rape. Source: The New York Times. So you're pretty much sure it's going to be right because they're way too big to have anything wrong. They're a ginormous conglomerate, or or not conglomerate, but company, a publishing house, publishing company, printing company, press company, newspaper. Damn it! But if I might be talking about that tomorrow, I might get into a deep dive with what Diddy is. I don't think Jay-Z can be touched. They're not going to touch Jay-Z. He had his brush with the law back in 1999 with Lance Rivera, but I don't think he's going to, be in handcuffs. He said that in the song before. I'm never going to jail, And but Diddy, they got, they're alleging that he had $1 million on Tupac's head. That he paid Keefe D only like $10,000 or $50,000 just to do it, not even the whole million. Not looking good for Diddy. He's not getting good press. All right, what about Umar Johnson? What about him? I don't even really know. I only know him through Mr. Troy Star Terrain show. I have no idea what he has a school or something. Like, I don't even follow him like that. I don't even know what his whole agenda is. So you got to tell me about Umar Johnson. Let me know. Inform me. School me on it. So, I mean, I'm not going to research it and be half-assed right now, but I'm probably going to, break in tomorrow with this Cassie situation. And it seems like she's, I'm not saying she's reaching. I'm not going to blame the alleged victim, but I'm just saying, it just seems like, she hasn't had a hit in years. So, what is she doing? Is she trying to, destroy the man's character? She's trying to assassinate his character. Like I said, he already is embroiled in question marks about what happened with the Tupac and Keefe D situation. And then with this coming in, it's a totally different situation. I think he's on the billionaire list right now. Hold on, let me see. Black billionaire. He's not even a billionaire yet. They said he was a billionaire, but I guess he's not on there anymore, according to this. Tyler Perry, LeBron James, Tiger Woods, Alex Karp. I never even heard of Alex Karp. Let me see what Alex Karp is. I'm here. I'm going all over the place. I got time. So he's black. He's very fair skinned. Alexander Karp. He could pass. He could definitely pass. Have one of his parents is black. Let me see. So he, Diddy is going through it. He's going through it, definitely. He's going through all this. And it's just a shame, really. It's sad. I mean, I can't kick dirt on the man's name. He's one of the biggest titles in history, all of history, Black history, entertainment history, period. He crossed over and made, huge hits for himself and others. I mean, you got to give him that much respect. But if these allegations are true, it could swing the pendulum back. He could be a piece of shit. He could be a dirtbag. I don't know. Did he party with her? Did he party? He was partying with her, and then he got to the party part, and she wasn't having it. I'm saying all this is allegations. I'm just saying allegedly. And she didn't want to party anymore. She didn't want to party, and so he might have hit her with some ghetto rounds of ghetto love. Had some love TKO. I don't know. And he might have, snatched the snatch. He might have stole the coochie. I don't know. It's alleged. I'm not saying he did or he didn't. I'm saying, what if? I'm not playing that game, all he needs, lock him up, lock him up. And no, Keith, Umar is not on the billionaire list. Where did you get that idea? Didn't he get asked? He's the one for or is that Tariq Nasheed? I always get Umar Johnson and Tariq Nasheed mixed up. But I have no idea really who they are. I don't really have an idea who they are, and I don't really care. Tell you the truth. So I think it's very important that we be slow to judgment and respect the American system. Innocent until proven guilty. There's another black man. He just had his birthday on the 4th. He turned 54, I think. Yeah. Turned 54. So he's going through it. It's just like more money, more problems. It's the truth. It's a fact. But I like what Jesus said. More problems, more money, You have a lot of issues, got a lot of problems, got some things going on in your life. That's probably a good thing. You're getting money for it. I know I am. I'm doing this show day in and day out. Keith says they both the same, Umar and Tariq. He spelled he used both names with a lowercase, and he spelled Tariq wrong. So that's just Keith. Pray for him, y'all. Pray for him. Lay hands on him. Lord, hallelujah. Thank you, Jesus. In the name of the Father, in the name of the blood, we're going to pray for our brother Keith, for he is in a different way right now, Lord Jesus. Help him. Please lay your hands on him, Lord Jesus. Please. Thank you, Lord. Hallelujah. In the name of the Father, in the name of the blood, Keith needs to learn how to do proper spelling and syntax and grammatical phrasings. Hallelujah, in the name of the blood. Thank you, Jesus. Hallelujah. All right. Amen. Can you tell I'm a preacher's kid? I'm PK. That's what it's like, though. Keith has got the emoticons going, the emojis, the laughing with the crying faces, and they're halfway like this, like this, with the tears coming out. So many people don't fully realize so many people are able to say that they are confident and comfortable and resilient in whoever they are and whatever they want to be. That, I think, is such a great part of society. That, I think, is the wonderful aspect of being a human being, is that you get to strive. You get to want to be better. You can ask more questions, Keith. It's past the hour. Ask many questions as you want. Only the hour. The hour is the money time. That's when I have to take money. That's the hour. But after the hour, it's free for all. But what was I saying? If you want to be your own self, you're human. You want to thrive. You want to flourish. You want to be the best human possible. That's what is so key. That's what's so amazing about Ayn Rand's philosophy of objectivism. That allows you to see by projection, by her novels especially, and her nonfiction as well, what it means to be a full-fledged human being. That's basically what all her her work sums up. To be the greatest possible, the ideal. Oh boy, this is another thing. I'm glad you mentioned this. I forgot about this beef. I don't remember exactly what happened either. But Keith is asking what happened between with. Oh, okay, what happened between 50 and Floyd Mayweather Jr.? I can't remember. You have to look it up for yourself. I forgot about this, but I know it's not beef. It was just a slight little scuffle or a slight little tiff. That's all it was. It was really just a tiff. It wasn't like beef. Like Ja Rule and 50 Cent have beef. Like that's well cooked, overdone beef. Like it's never going to be able to be eaten beef. You know, some beef you can thaw it out, you can cook it, and you can eat it. But some beef gets thawed out, cooked, and overcooked, and overcooked, and overcooked, and you try to eat it, it's like eating into a hockey puck. But I don't remember what happened with 50 and Floyd Mayweather. I have to look it up. I might look it up right now. It was some kind of misunderstanding. I'm trying to remember what it was. 50 and... let me see. All right, okay. They're talking about a video. That gone it. I don't need a video. I need text. And since 2022, they ended their years long tension, drama, and or beef. So you have to look into that yourself. Not trying to be rude, but I'm just saying. All right, Hyde's got it. They were going to have a boxing promotion company together, and Floyd backed out without communicating that to 50. Thank you, Hyde. I appreciate that, sir. Thank you for clearing that up. I couldn't remember. I knew they did have beef. Excuse me, drama or tension. But I couldn't remember exactly the exact parameters, the specifics of it. You got 9% left. You can ask as many questions as you like. Fire away, Keith. Yeah, thanks to Height. And thank Height also for promoting and sponsoring the show. Thank Capers, who's not even here. Thank him. They collectively added $25 to the value of the show. So definitely thank them. Thanks, Hype, for more than just giving information, which I appreciate. Thank him for that dollar, the $20 he dropped on my head yesterday. I was amazed because he usually does $10 pieces. He said, "You know what? I want to be a part of this $50 club for November." He was like, "Forget that. I'm in it now." Do you know when Star's coming back? No, I don't. I have no idea. He hasn't given me any inclination, any emails or phone calls or anything. I think he's enjoying life. He probably found some nice little young lady of age, of course, that he's probably having a good time with. So salute to him. Salute to the hater of all time. One of the best too. One of the best to say the hater. I'm the hater. Oh, nobody wants to be a hater. Oh, you're a hater. You're just a hater. He said, "You know what? I'm the hater. I'm the hater. I'm not a hater. I'm the hater. I'm the father of this. I didn't create it. I'm just showing you that it exists, and that it could be beneficial in certain circumstances. It can get you money. It's got me money. I'm an objective hater, and I'll tell you about my philosophy in about 5 years. Give me 5 years, and I'll give you my philosophy. But I've been living it and I'm living it right now, but I haven't, explained it and expounded upon it yet. But yeah, so it's beautiful. Hatred, so much history. History is so full of hatred, wars and scourges and hunger and starvation, and it's just racked with it. We're just experimenting. Maybe communism works. Let's try communism. Socialism. Maybe socialism works. Fascism's got to work. Nazism's got to work. Come on. It's like one huge science laboratory. Humanity. We're trying different things. We're seeing things work. Capitalism hasn't been tried yet. You could say, oh, America is a capitalist country. Not by a long shot. It's too many rules, too many regulations, too many controls. Not even close to being a capitalist country. Not even close. I mean, there's elements of capitalism just like in other countries, like Sweden and Norway and Denmark, the Nordic countries, they say are always the happiest and always the greatest, and they have the best economy, and people are go free and hither and thither, and everything is great. They're not capitalist countries. They have regulations and controls just like all the other countries in the world. They're all mixed economies. We live in a mixed economy. It's a fact. So if you hear anybody say capitalism, America is a capitalist country, say, no, not so much. Not really. Kind of, for the most part, sort of, a little bit, here and there. But not a capitalist country. Not in the fullest laissez-faire sense. The hands-off approach. The let-do approach. That's the capitalism I would like to see. But we're not there. We're not even close to it. Not even close. And what do? We look at, wrestling and The Bachelorette and, all these different shows, and, mind-numbing, and, get your mind off of the fact that you're getting, plowed and stiffed over by government officials and their nonsense. So that's that's a sadness. That's a sad part about it. That's the issue that we have to contend with in our lives. That's something that we have to really deal with. We have to really see and know and be LGBTQ. If you want to embrace somebody besides Hamas, queers, if you want to embrace besides Palestine or something like that, embrace capitalism. Excuse me. Embrace capitalism, because capitalism isn't just about money changing hands. That's a part of it. That's obviously an aspect of capitalism. That's mercantilism, which is like a subset of capitalism. But capitalism basically means private property being protected by the government, and especially individual rights being respected fully. That's what capitalism is. And if you want to have rights fully protected and completely recognized, you have to go for capitalism. You have to go for it. If you want it to be, you have to. In your life, you have to go for capitalism. All the queers, all the LGBTQ, not fascism, not socialism, not communism, not all these isms, except capitalism. It's the only social system of justice. It's the only moral system. That's where Mr. Troy Terrain and I, we have our differences. He says that capitalism has no moral base, and he's alleging that Ayn Rand said that. Now, I've never heard in an interview or read in a text where she said that, But I'm not knocking him because I haven't read it yet. I can't say that he's wrong. I have to do more reading. But I've yet to, look up her saying that capitalism has no moral base. When capitalism is the only moral system of justice. Again, it's the only one. And you got 3% percentage points left. Then I got to get the hell out of here. So don't go for Hamas or Palestine. It's all about Israel. It's very black and white. Black being good, white meaning bad. White is Palestine. Black is Israel. White meaning good, black meaning bad. Black is Palestine, white is Israel. It's as simple as that. It's not even like a game. Hamas, Palestine, whatever you want to say, Muslims, Arabs, they're all lumped in the same bucket, and they're not the same as Jews or Zionists or Christian Jews or something like that. It's just Israelis, okay? Israelis, just like Americans. Americans are atheists or polyamorous, Catholic, Presbyterian, non-denominational, but you're still an American. Still an American, no matter what. Especially if you're foundational, you were born in this country, in this beautiful, sweet country that we live in. And all the songs are about geography. Oh, beautiful for spacious skies. It's all about the world. It's all about the atmosphere and things like that. And from the mountains to the prairies, and this land is your land, this land is my land, from California to New York Island. Like, it's all about geography. Nobody ever sings about the Constitution. Nobody sings about the Declaration of Independence, the most important political document in all of human history. Nobody does it. Keith, explain how capitalism has no moral base. And Bob Jackson says, I pledge $10 once I fix my Cash App. Fix your Cash App, nigga? No, I'm just kidding. No, seriously though, Baha, you take your time with that. Take your time. I'm here. Once you pledge, you're a man of your word. You've done it before. You said I pledged $10, and next day I had $10. So I know you're a man of your word. So I appreciate that, Baha Jackson. Definitely appreciate it. So I'm not running a charity here. Charities get money though. Don't get it messed up. Red Cross got like $3 billion a year or something like that. All in donations. And I think it's all tax deductible and tax free. Michael Jordan, Nike Air Jordans. What are you saying, Keith? I got this. No, there's 0% left, and you're talking about some Michael Jordan, Nike Air Jordans. What are you talking about? Is he better than his sneakers? What are you saying? I don't know what you mean. Are you dividing Michael Jordan by his sneakers? What are you doing? All right, look, I gotta get out of here. I'm gonna leave on Baja Jackson's LOL. I thank you all for coming in. Thank you, Height, for coming in with my tomorrow story. Definitely picking that up tomorrow. Talking about Diddy and alleged rape charges. No. And I think Keith. I think Baja Jackson, Height. Who else? Looks like that's about it. Okay, so thank you all for chiming in. I appreciate you. I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.